All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. I am your host, Zach, and today we have the MSR Cookpot Survival Kit. So in the prior video, I had made a kit in this smaller tin. So today we're checking out what we can fit in a larger tin to possibly be like an addition to your bug out bag or just a day bag, day hike kit, and what all we can fit inside this pot. So let's take a look at that today on Airborne Outdoors. All right, first off, guys, full disclosure, I will have some Amazon affiliate links to these MSR cook pots. They do come in 4 sizes, and they are a great price right now on Amazon. So go to the description box and check those out. I'll try to leave the sizes of which ones these are right here, and then you'll see when you go on there which ones are which. So let's crack into this MSR cook pot. Great stainless steel pot. I believe this is the 3rd or 4th largest one. So this is either the 1.1 or the 1.7, but I'm going to figure it out and I'll leave a note here. So let's look into that. Of course, first off on all our kits, we have this lid, and this is actually a really nice lid. Large enough to use as your plate. Maybe not cook over it, but after you cook something to go ahead and throw it on this lid. So I really like this lid being this big, and it's heavy duty and secure. And something I have tucked away on the side of the kit here is just one of those little fold up sporks to just kind of go with that lid to eat. So let's see what else all we got in here. You know, like I said, on most of these small kits, you're not going to fit everything in the world that you're going to possibly need in there. But this is a great backup kit, emergency, maybe even a grab and go type thing to where we're going to have it as complete as possible within the confines of the size of the kit. So right on the top, we just have a piece of repair cloth, something you can use to patch up some clothing or a tarp or something like that. And we'll get into some more pieces of kit we have in there. And then right on top too, I was just about done packing up the kit, and I said, you know, I got enough room to just throw a couple HotHands in there, and I have had these things really come in handy in this Minnesota cold weather. So moving on to some of the water purification and gathering techniques. You know, of course, we have this great pot that could be used to scoop up some clean water with trying to not get any debris in it, and then dumping it in this Whirl pack 1 liter bag. So I got 2 Whirl pack 1 liter bag here, and I have 10 Aqua Tabs here. So there'll be links in the description box to most of these items. So cost nothing. It's just a free link to get you to where you want to be for some of these items. Here's my little snare wire. It's brass snare wire. It's just coated black. Got it zip tied up nice and tight to stay in its compact little form. You know, you can't fit everything in here, but this is a pretty complete kit. You know, we were able to fit quite a few things in here. I'm not going to dig through all the items and find which category is which. I'm just going to go through one at a time. And here's those tinder tabs that I keep going back to because they're just great. I looked them back up, and it's a 25 pack of these for relatively cheap compared to the higher priced, you know, big box store brand names. This is just an off brand, and they work great. So check them out. Give them a chance. Next item, we have that UST micro signal mirror, the Star Flash signal mirror. I really love this little mirror. It just fits great. Got it in the baggie to try to preserve that surface, let it stay very reflective without getting scratched up. But we'll try to get a link to all them products to where you can check those out. Small kit, tiny survivor guide. I've talked about this in other videos, and it's a wealth of information in such a small, compact, kind of, what do you call it, like laminated, secure little survival guide. My favorite whistle, not the smallest one, but the UST Jetscream survival whistle. That is a great and very loud whistle. So one of my last videos, I went to blow the whistle, and then one of my commenters He did not like that I blew it, and it was kind of funny because I don't like it when other people blow them either. And he goes, "I was watching your video until you blew the whistle," and I was like, "Okay, well, thanks for watching anyway." And then he's like, "Well, it was a good video up till then." So I'm not gonna blow it, but you guys, you know they're loud. You don't really hear how loud they are anyway because the speaker on your phone is as loud as you can possibly hear it. Guys, I'm going back to this little Brunton compass, and I put a link to this in my last video, and it has caused them to relatively be sold out. So hopefully they can restock those up, but there's still a few available. And this compass, I hope you guys realize the one guy was bashing me like, "Oh, your compass was turning north in all different directions during your video." Well, yeah, you know, you got to have them away from things. You go buy some stainless steel, for example, or the table itself even. Otherwise, it points great, points left or north immediately, really good and really accurately. Just as accurate as my $90 compass is. So, great little item, and it's just compact and comes with a little lanyard on there, but I took it off. But you could put it back. You could put a longer one on there and throw this around your neck, and just have a great little way to point north at least. I mean, I think this thing is like $12.99 on Amazon. It is just a great deal. Next item we have, what was the name of this thing again? The HydroBlu. And again, it's kind of tough to get the top off, but that's kind of good because it stays very secure. And so, got your top on there to suck through, and there's your little replaceable water filter. It comes with a little, not a filter, but a little pre-filter. It comes with an extra one of these pre-filters. So you got 10-15 gallons of water here. You know, you get trapped away from your kit, and you brought your little GSI cook pot, and you are good to go. Next item I'll grab is this Ultimate Survival Technologies flashlight. It looks like it's called the Lenchi. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Leschi, but I really like this because it's a good flashlight. It has a strobe, and then also it works great as a lantern, to where you don't want some bright light flashing in your eyes, and you just want to light up the area and set it down or hang it up, and it works great for those things. And then also it's one AA. And so just to really stack it up, you know, I put a couple extra AA's in there. So we just have tons of lighting options, or I mean tons of lighting time between all them extra batteries. So we got a new one in there, and we got 2 extra ones. The cover option, I just went with my little Coleman's Coughlin's emergency blanket. It's a little heavier duty than my really small cheap ones, but it's still a relatively small and minimalist piece of cover. But like I talk about with my favorite little candle, my Ecotac 4-hour nano, you get under here and light your candle in between your legs and just sit camp style on a pile of boughs that keep you warm. Keep the candle away from the grass, but just let that heat warm up inside of you, and it warms up a lot. 40-50 degrees warmer. It's actually quite surprising. I went with the smaller piece of cloth just because this small kit, and this is really thin and folds up down to practically nothing. I mean, it's really small. This would really, you know, be an effective like pocket handkerchief. But anyway, it is a useful piece of cloth though for all your survival needs. First aid comes to mind. Pre-filtering water. Even using it as a little bag to carry stuff, maybe to collect tinder when you're out scraping birch bark and bird's nest material. So you got a nice little piece of cloth in there. Went with my little pre-rolled chunk of duct tape. I think this came in a 2-pack of these. I'll try to find a link for those too. I can't remember if I had a link for that or not. Oh, my favorite little fishing kit, just as it is out of the box. We just got that pack of hooks in there. and the line and the bobber, and then looks like this is the one I threw the extra sinkers and swivels in there. So we're all loaded out. We got everything we need in a tiny little compact self-contained fishing kit. Oh, let's get into my favorite part of the kit. The this is the Perwin multi-tool, and I can't remember if I have a review for this on my channel or not, but let's check it out right now. First off, I'll tell you, for the price, this isn't their biggest one. This is kind of one of their, not their mini, but their smaller end. Got the clip on it, so you don't have any tools on this side besides the clip. But one thing I like, it has that nice saw to, you know, help you collect some wood and tinder and make shelter. And then, of course, on the other side, we got our file. We got a ruler here. Can kind of maybe not too useful in a survival situation, but it has some depth gauge uses. And then you got a decent crosscut file on this side. You got your main blade here, which again has that sheep's foot blade and really holds an edge nice. And I've sharpened this up just with my cheapy knife sharpener, and it really takes a sharp edge. Another decent knife, scissors, kind of got that blunt edge like I like, so that you can really use it as getting under without cutting your skin, and to cut that tape and the bandaging on yourself or somebody else. And then, of course, that awesome pliers, and it's plenty heavy duty for being how low cost it is. Guys, check. I'll leave a link to this. Maybe the first link will be to this, because this is a great deal on Amazon. This is like the best deal. I've bought multi-tools at this price range, and they are nowhere near this quality. You buy a $10 to $15 multi-tool, and sometimes, at a gas station or something, and they're just throwaway junk. Where this thing, I believe it to be just as good or very close to as good as the top end name brand multi-tools. Heavy duty. And then, so you don't have any tools on this side, but you got a nice hook, so you could easily clip that to your belt loop or the outside of your bug out bag. And then on this side, it just fills out the kit with a couple screwdrivers. You got your Phillips head and your flathead, and then that can opener. And like I said, I love having a can opener with me, just because you never know. You may run into some canned goods, or you may even bring some canned goods, and there's your backup can opener. So don't forget that Perwin will be there. And then for the cordage in this kit, I went with a little beefier chunk. It's probably about 20 feet, 25 feet. And I went with that fire cord. So it's got that extra red flammable piece of inner strand. So we still have our 7 inner strands, but then one of them is the red one. And then got that, and it's reflective. It could be used as some signaling for nighttime, helping you find your way in the dark. Main part of my fire kit here, I went pretty skimpy on the fire options, is just my Ecotac case with my Bic lighter in there. Just thinking this is a minimalist kit and just the most basic, easy way. Start a fire with a lighter, and then make sure it's safe and not, the gas didn't leak out and it didn't get damaged, and it's not wet, and it's all ready to go right here. And also you have a loop here where you could string that up on your like a necklace, maybe get some 550 cord and have your fire starter and your compass on there. I would say like maybe these 3 things here would be a great little necklace. Just your compass, your whistle, and your lighter. Just to have those things on you. And then just to have some fun here. Well, no, let me get to this first. To add to that piece of cloth, I just have my roll of heavy duty thread and a nice size needle. Not a huge sail needle, but kind of in between. Definitely not the smallest needle you ever had. And then here's the kind of having fun. Was thinking about that fishing kit, and I was like, well, let me just throw some compact options with hunting as well. And I was looking at some of my options, and I was like, let's go back to that bow and arrow. So there's that ESSI AH1 arrowhead, and I have not had the chance to get this out and play with it, but obviously you can see you would notch a piece of shaft and tie that tight on there and have it a sweet arrowhead. And then also we have that bowstring, just like a 50-pound draw, decent little shorter end bowstring. And again, this is something I would love to take out and show you guys what we could do with that. Have my little 9mm in here, and I'm just not sure of the point. Okay, now let's check out my last thing in here is my little cook stove. So let me slap this together real quick. Okay, so that just took me about a minute and a half to slap together. Just a nice little firebox. Plenty of options to choose for in this category, but I only used this once on a hiking trip, or maybe twice now, and I didn't know if I'd like it, and I actually used it with this pot, and it was awesome to make a lunch. You know, I just lit a few twigs and got them in there, and then started feeding a few more twigs. Especially if you bring yourself like a little piece of fire tinder, and throw your little piece of tinder in there, and then just get your quick tab in there. Your little fire tab would help get that going immediately. Like, you throw one of those in there, light it with your lighter, and set it there, and then just start feeding the tiny twigs the size of pencil lead, and go up to pencil size and thumb size, and before you know it, you're cooking with Crisco in here. So there it is, guys. I hope you like the kit. Hope you will like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Be the first one to see all my new videos. Guys, thank you so much. We just passed up about 580 subscribers with a few thousand watch hours. So we're able to get that video, get that channel initially monetized. We're not fully monetized, but you know, we have the option for you to check out that membership if you want to support the channel. I got level 1 is just a fire starter, and really, guys, that's all I'm asking for. If you really want to support the channel with a larger monthly contribution, check out level 2. I think it's $5 or $6, but that's the kit, guys. I really like it. I purposely, if you're noticing some of the things that are missing, like I didn't put first aid in here because I was, you know what, I said, you know, I'm pretty field expedient with the handkerchief and the duct tape, and I got my knife, and I got my needle, and I got some options to be able to perform some first aid, and then of course this is an additional backup item, kind of last ditch survival kit inside my bug out bag. So please comment on the video, guys, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again on Airborne Outdoors.